Welcome to the Limelight podcast, where authors, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders step forward to share their ideas, stories, and strategies. I'm Clarissa Burt, inviting you into thoughtful dialogue, refined insight, and an esteemed way of living. Hey everybody, we are back in the Limelight, and no, I didn't go get a perm. I just want everybody to know, and you may know that I have opened up a wig line. I'm working with the Italians on that, and every Monday when it's production day, I change it out so that I can interview them first thing in the morning. And if I were to take this off right now, it wouldn't be pretty. So I'm going to keep it on and hope you enjoy it. Anyway, as you know, we are, always doing the interviews of phenomenal people that I find along the way. And I really found a great lady this time. I'm going to give you a little bit of idea, and that is transformational travel. Who wouldn't be into that? I think that's really great. And that's not enough. I mean, she's one of those kind of ladies that has the bio that if I were to read it, we'd be here until tomorrow morning. And just one of those really super accomplished ladies. I'm going to let her tell you all about that. And there she is right there. Hello, Angelique Medow. It is so good to see you. And finally, we got to do this interview. So happy. Yay, we got it done. We've been talking for a while. We've got a lot, something kind of, I think, exciting to tell everybody, which would be, we'll hold on to that for a minute. But I want to give a little bit of your background. You are the founder of the Willingness Initiative, and you're a teacher at Harvard Medical School. Lifestyle well-being, nature relationship, arbor and element therapies, ceremony, unconscious voicing, reparenting, journaling, intuition, soul blueprints, breath work, and we could be here all day. The things that you do, I think that at your retreats are truly, as you say, transformational travel. So let's get into that a little bit. I know that you just had an event. Where was your event? Was it North Carolina?
Yes, we were in North Carolina. Got to see Marianne Williamson. Oh my goodness. Woman on fire. Just like yourself, my dear. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah. Love to have it. And, I think it's just one of those kind of moments, especially that, especially for me in my life that I've stepped into, that it really is about being on fire,
Yes.
and loving it because it's so nice and warm. It's just so great, Now, here's what I want everybody to know is that you work a lot with women, your women's retreats all over the world, by the way, not just in the continental US, but you also work with men. And you've got a really cool thing coming up in May in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee for men.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, it's so important and a great time to honor the fact that men are allowing themselves to experience more of who they are, which includes their emotions. And the power of emotions can be up to 98% of us, which is considered part of our unconscious. Yeah. Most of us don't know what our emotions are. We're just driven by them. So to the fact that we can talk with men about this openly now is just such an honor and a joy, because when they're incorporating their emotions in their decision making, that means they can also help to incorporate our emotions in their decision making. Yeah. Partnership at its finest.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of I don't want to take it down the road, but let me just say there's been a lot of man bashing in the last couple of years, and it's something that I will not stay. You got to do that on my watch. And what I will say also is that as far as the group of people that are unaliving themselves at an alarming rate, it's men. And so I really want men and women, to get your guys, get them into these kinds of retreats so that they can find their voice, so that they can rant and rave if they need to, so they can release the energies that maybe aren't serving them, and work with somebody like Angelique who could I would love to be a fly on the wall at something like that. I really would. I mean, truly, because I would love to see I don't know that men really, they just don't give themselves permission. I think they think it's a little woo-woo, if not sissy, and there's nothing more that we need to debunk.
And I love that you're saying this, because the fact that a beautiful, strong woman is encouraging men, this is what we need.
Yeah, absolutely.
The feminist movement, as much as it was helping to support women, it did it by cutting men out at the knees, which is not the way to do it. That's not partnership. That's war. And something most of us aren't taught also is that we have a left and right brain, which is our inner masculine and feminine. So if we're at war with the man on the outside, whether it's our husband, our partner, our business partner, our brother, our sister, that's also meaning that we have a war going on within us with our out of balance masculine and feminine. So allowing ourselves to be coming into balance is something that's a part of this new rise in the culture, and men are a part of that balance.
So cool.
They have not been taught how to do that, and neither have women.
Well, let's get the word out. I'm happy to do that. I'm so thrilled that you are, opening up those paths for men. That's really cool. Now you've got another event. You've got a bunch of events coming up, but I want to get to the ones that are coming up, relatively soon. And that is in Hunting Island, South Carolina, Will You Adventure. And that is May 15th to May 22nd. That's 8 days, 7 nights. And then again in October, May 15th to the 22nd. Talk to us about this event. What happens here?
The art of being. The art of being is really helping us to realize that we are okay as we are, and how to be okay with who we are. Most of us are trying to distract ourselves, whether it's with work, with sex, drugs, rock and roll, food, alcohol, whatever it is, entertainment, because we're afraid of who we are.
Shopping.
Yes. Gambling. It doesn't matter what
all
it is.
All the things.
Right. But what we need to know is that if we're doing this because of pure joy, then we're not going to have any regret afterwards. We're not going to have the blues. We're not going to have depression of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent that much. It's a matter of recognizing that our intention is escapism. If we're going to gamble to escape, if we're going to travel to escape, if we're going to find a new girlfriend or boyfriend to escape, that means we're trying to escape ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the art of being here on Hunting Island is learning how to be with ourselves and learning how to love whatever comes up that's blocking us from getting to know a deeper part of us, which allows us to have peace and joy.
Yeah. And I really think that, the invitation is give yourself permission.
Yes.
Let it go. There's no guilt, no shame, no blame, and just go and yourself will find you. And I think that is an extraordinary place for anybody to be. Really, we do, as you said, we take the time to do all the other things. We never miss our nail appointment or the pedicure, but can we stop for right? Am I wrong? No. Take the week. Find the week, give yourself that care, that self-care, that much needed time to go rediscover. I think you talk about reparenting and repurposing as well. And I stand, 10 toes down on all of that. I think it's time that a lot of people just go, you know what, maybe we won't go to Italy for a vacation. Let's go do something, for ourselves. And that would be a really fabulous thing for me. I'm just saying, just do that. So cruise the volcanic passion of the Mediterranean. Now you're speaking my language, because I lived in Italy for 30 years. So tell me, it's a cruise, everybody. It's a cruise. All right.
Yes. Portugal, Morocco, Spain, the Fuerteventura Islands. We are doing it all. All the Canary Islands, all the ocean and the volcanoes. It's all about how do we create that fire? Because we all have a spark. We're all brought in with it. You see children when they're playing, they know how to play without having a whole lot of extraneous extras. But that fire is what they have. And the fire gets doused out as we get older, because we feel like we have to accomplish things and that play is not a part of this. So this cruise is all about how do we allow the fire to burn more brightly without burning us out?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Yeah. And by the way, everybody, you're going to want to go to willyougrow.com. I'm just, basically reading from the website so I don't miss anything. And that's where you're going to either learn more, sign up, and not miss out. Do you cap your events?
At the number of people, yes, because we want it to be intimate. So
Right.
At the cruise, no more than 30. And it's nice to be able to travel in a more intimate group with people who are all, what I'm going to say, like-minded. That doesn't mean that we're the same, but what it does mean is that we're not going to escape. We want to both enjoy the trip and the travel, but we also want to learn to enjoy parts of ourselves that we may never have experienced before.
Yeah. So give me an idea of a typical it's never a typical day. Excuse me. I retract the word. Give you an idea of the atypical day that may happen on the cruise, not off the boat, but when you're actually doing the work. And I hate the word work because people go, oh my God, it's work.
Yeah, we could
just, okay, go play, do whatever, the semantics at this point, just go.
Yes.
What's the day look like when people are actually working with you?
Start the day out by asking yourself before you get out of bed, how do I feel?
Okay.
Because just simple awareness of our body, our mind, our emotions, our physical, our emotional, our spiritual, our mental, means that we're including all of ourselves, that no part of ourselves is excluded. When any part of ourself is excluded, we feel anxiety. So we get in touch with ourselves right away in the morning by finding out, how do we feel? And then we go into gratitude. And it's easy to do when you can look out the window and see the waves.
Right.
You have a beautiful environment and music and the gorgeous opportunities that are going to present during the day. We might journal, we might do yoga, but all of these things are also not required, but optional. But we do check in with each other during the day and find out, how do I feel? What do I think? What is my experience? And everyone is included in that.
Yeah. How exciting.
Yes.
Oh, I love. I just, I love all this stuff. I'm just going to go back to your website. I said, because I know I don't want to miss, Costa Rica.
Oh,
Costa Rica, everybody. This is where you need to be. Okay, so Christmas at home with the people that you love. Thank you very much. Mom, dad, all the things. Now it's time to jump on a plane and be in Costa Rica the next day on the 26th, because on the 27th, from the 27th to January 3rd, so Happy New Year in Costa Rica. You have Celebrate You in Costa Rica.
Yes. And how do we celebrate us? Well, on transformational travel, that doesn't just mean what most people think celebration means on trips. It doesn't just mean getting drunk by the pool.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What it means is, what are those things that you have accomplished in the last year that are celebratory for you that maybe nobody even knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that you decided to stop doing some habitual compulsory activity, behavior. Maybe you lost 10 pounds. Maybe you got a degree that you didn't tell anybody else about. Maybe you just need to celebrate the fact that you made it through that year. Whatever it is that you know that you are personally proud of, but maybe nobody else knows, but you want to celebrate it and honor it. This is what you can bring to the fore. And, those of us like yourself, when you are very well accomplished, there are times when you might have a tendency to dumb it down because other people might get jealous or afraid of, all the things they haven't done in their life. And so you're constantly hiding the things that you should be able to be proud of.
You got that right.
Even if that means saying no contact to someone in your family. No one else may celebrate that. As a matter of fact, they may demonize you for it. But if you're proud of yourself for something that was really hard for you to do, it's time for you to celebrate you and bring that celebration through into the new year.
100%. All right. So here's the other thing that I really love that you talk about. And that is, when we're coming to your retreats, I think we might hear something like, be joyful just because.
Or
willpower that works. What do you mean by willpower that works?
Well, willpower that doesn't work is what we see when people choose something at the first of the year that they're going to do, a resolution, but they don't know themselves well enough to know that part of them does not want to do that thing.
Yeah, right.
And then they're just trying to force themselves to do something that they don't want to do. And eventually that other part wins.
Yeah. And then
it's a battle. It's a battle. And so willpower that does not work is when we do not have our conscious and conscious, our knowing and our unknowing working together, our masculine and feminine working together. So it's our job to find out that the way the willpower works is getting to know the part of ourselves that doesn't want to do the thing that we think we want to do. And that right there is the key to actually doing that thing.
Yeah. Wow. What a concept. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. All right. Self-care with grace. Interesting that you should say grace.
Love, grace, compassion, care.
Right.
There are 3 parts of self-care, and self-care truly is healthcare. If we did enough self-care, we wouldn't need to go to the healthcare professionals, but most of us don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So knowing how to care for ourselves, knowing how to be kind to ourselves, and knowing how to love ourselves are the ways in order to truly have self-care, self-love, and health, health, joy.
You talk about emotional intelligence, and I love talking about it as well. But you say emotional intelligence with integrity. Wow. Okay. Tell me the difference. Okay. Take me deeper on that.
Well, we often, many of us were raised to be emotionally intelligent about how other people feel, and caring. For example, if that other person is angry, maybe we turn our volume down to a 3. We go to their level of trying to calm them down.
Meet them where they're at.
We're meeting them where they're at.
Yes.
So we're in integrity trying to create peace, but the way we're doing that is we're not being in integrity with the fact that we're scared out of our mind of this person who is berating us.
Yeah.
And we're not including and being in integrity with the emotions of, I need care and I need to leave this situation because it's not healthy for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So integrity is inclusivity, meaning I'm going to include the other person's feelings, but I'm also going to include mine. And if I am in emotional and physical unsafety, then it's time for me to act on my best behalf. And in integrity, say, I see that you're angry, and it's time for me to go.
Yeah. I love that. What did you say? Integrity on my behalf? I like that. Yeah, that's fabulous. I love that. I say something similar, but I might just borrow that a moment one day.
I'd love to hear that. You have your own books.
Yeah.
You have your own teachings. And please, I'd love for you to chime in on how yours tie in with these.
Yeah. Well, with integrity, I say something along the lines of taking the high road. I like to take the high road, which is honesty, integrity, gratitude, and honor. And so, I take a deeper dive with everybody on that. But this is your interview. It's not mine. So anyway.
It's a team. It's a team. I couldn't do it without you.
Leadership with wisdom. Leadership with wisdom. Okay. We all know about leadership, good leaders, bad leaders, leading the team and all, but with wisdom.
Well, it's a part of integrity and inclusivity now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like with that masculine feminine balance. If the leader comes in and just wants to talk over and plow through the people in order to accomplish something, then they are harming rather than helping. They are not doing something that would be considered love, inclusivity, care, kindness. So if we can't be kind to the people that we're with, we aren't really truly leading them. We are controlling them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I've been known to be a little bit of a control freak in my life. So I really had to work on letting go of that a lot.
Because what was the key for you? How did you
I think it was just the real want to have authentic relationships, and really just wanting to say, I used to think it was my way or the highway, and I was that way for a pretty long time. But I was also in a position of leadership where I was the boss. I was 5 years old, and kids used to say to me, "We don't want to play with you. You're too bossy." Am I bossy or am I the boss? And so I had to really kind of figure that all out, and then tone it way back and become, again, as you say, authentic and inclusive and kind and understanding. And it took a while. I'm talking many years ago, by the way. I've been around a long time. Persevering power. We'll do the last two. Persevering power, and then playful receptivity.
Well, playful receptivity actually ties in perfectly to your story. Because, just based on your story, was it possible that no one in your family was standing up and actually leading? So you as a child would need to stand up to be boss because that's what you knew worked.
Yeah.
So how could you be more playful if you feel like you have to lead everyone else? It's not a balance. It's not a work. It's not inclusive. So playful receptivity means that I get to
Yeah.
Include
I know.
myself. But in order to include ourselves, that means that we have to feel like we're worthy to be included.
Yeah.
And when parents don't make us feel that way, and we're raised to be bosses, bossy.
We're raised to be bosses and bosses. And I have to say that I really love, I think it's just stepping into, let me just call it divine power for the moment, because it took a while, to figure out that I could give myself permission to be able to lead, and that some people were very happy that I was doing that, and as much in your case, I'm very, very sure. So, let's see now. We have one little other thing we wanted to say, and that is potentially and eventually. And I think we have some dates, but I don't remember exactly when they were. But I know that it's in February, and that would be that you and I will be doing an event in Sedona. Yay!
Yeah, very exciting. Yes, super exciting.
Thrilled about it. Honored to be working with you, first off, but secondly,
oh, definitely, and right back at you. It's a total thrill. Yes,
Thank you.
And right before Sedona would be Hawaii. So
you're doing Hawaii? Did I?
Yes. So I will be I would love for you to come.
Yeah.
We will be in Kauai, Hawaii, which is the grandmother island. It's the northernmost in the chain of the Hawaiian Islands, and it's a host to more than 50 beaches, towering cliffs, inactive volcanoes, and the most beautiful beach in the world.
Yeah.
And you were speaking about the men's retreat. This man right here, Keone Hanalei, is a native to Hawaii, and he is going to be presenting about masculine feminine balance. And he is also a practitioner of fern medicine and a teacher of ulu, which is ancient wisdom that is held in the spine and spinal column. Yeah. So he's going to be teaching us there, and as well as a lovely lady whose name is Purnima. This is Purnima, and she has a place there on Kauai, and she's going to be taking us there. We're going to be walking through the sacred grounds of her facility and learning the Anahata song, which is the heart song. So we're learning about inner harmony of the masculine feminine balance in Hawaii. And then we come to Sedona.
Right. So dates on Hawaii, because that wasn't on, I didn't see it on the website. Dates on Hawaii.
Oh, the dates on Hawaii are January 22nd to the 31st in 2027. We're flying there, and we're staying at a beautiful luxury home right there next to the ocean with the beautiful mountains and the luxurious greens and all the flowers and beautiful activities that we're going to be doing, not only on the beach, but touring the island. Wow. It's going to be a phenomenal time.
Sounds like it. Yeah, it's really, well, you're going to be very busy there, Miss Angelique, for a long time here now.
You too.
You've got lots of stuff going on. It's so exciting. What is it that I didn't ask you that you would like everybody to know? Anything in particular?
Yeah, the hardest thing that we have in front of us as human beings is to allow ourselves to be authentic and present. And that's way harder than most of us give ourselves credit for. And it's almost impossible to do it by yourself. So when you're ready to do the deeper dive work to find out the things that are stumbling blocks for you, or why it is that you can't seem to get your voice to speak up for you, this is often a buried trauma or something that we can lovingly care for and create safety within your system so that you can become more embodied. And when you are more embodied, you will feel like you have a right to take up space and a right to have joy and book travel and transform yourself instead of just being a caretaker for everyone else.
Oh, I love that. Woo, that was, woo. I think I got a couple of goosebumps going on over here. Oh, I just got chilly, and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. One last question for you before we say goodbye, and for the moment, and that is, you've done so many things, extraordinary things. What would you say that up until now has been your crowning moment?
The choice to stand up for myself when no one else would, and when everyone else said that I was bad, wrong, or inappropriate. That's tough, but we all have to do it. And I know you have done it as well. And I hope that we will be able to speak specifically to that as you being a powerful woman, a woman who has gone through much and a beautiful, strong woman, and how to do that while at the same time allowing vulnerability, sensitivity, kindness, care, and grace, so that we do not become the kind of people that we don't want to be.
Right. And everybody has their story. So I hope they bring their story to Angelique in one of her events. And we'd love to see you in Sedona.
Sedona, yes.
Yeah, we will be getting back to everyone about Sedona and letting them know exact dates on that. I'm working on things right now behind the scenes. So I love you. And I love the fact
love you right back. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a blessing to be able to be here with you. And what a gorgeous opportunity. Thank you so very much.
Talk soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the In the Limelight podcast, intelligent media for the savvy entrepreneur. You'll find my video interviews on YouTube and clarissaburt.com, and the audio version of the interviews you can get wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to connect with me on social, pretty much anywhere, and do stay well until we meet again in the Limelight.